She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another Plan With Me video. Today I'll be doing my February Plan With Me, but first I'll be doing my January flip through. This is my cover page and the quote that says always bring your own sunshine, which I love. It looks so cute. And then my calendar page, followed by my mood tracker and a line a day. It is still only halfway filled up because when I filmed this it was only the 16th of January, so a lot of my spreads are not yet filled up, but I'll be uploading another video after January is over just to show you guys the full flip through when it's totally filled up. And then I have my playlist and my fave log, followed by my week 1 spread. So it was really nice. I loved the look that the week 1 spread gave, but the downside was that because I had to write on top of gouache, I had trouble writing it because my Pigma microns couldn't really write well on gouache, so it was quite painful to write on the week 1 spread actually, but my white jelly roll was still working fine, so I used that one instead. So this is my week 2 and my week 3 spread. It is still mostly empty, but once again I will upload the final flip through in a few days time, and this is my week 4 spread. So anyway, moving on to my setup for February, my theme for this month would be centering around swans. Because Valentine's Day is in the month of February, I thought that I wanted to have a theme about swans, and that got me remembering and reminiscing about Swan Lake. I am unashamed to say that I grew up watching Barbie movies and they took up a large place of my childhood. So anyway, I decided that I wanted to do a Swan Lake kind of theme. For my color page, I'll be using my Canson watercolor paper instead, and I'm using the Artex gouache instead of my normal Himimiya gouache. So I'm painting the Enchanted Forest for the cover page, and I'm just doing it as simply as possible because I was trying to replicate how it looked in the movie as much as possible. So anyway, I actually had quite a little bit of trouble with the painting. I had trouble making the mountains look good, so I kept going back over and over again before I decided that that was done and to just move on because I was spending so much time on it.
She's a Mona Lisa. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. You see her walking down the boulevard. She got the posture of a superstar. She looks so fly in those Gucci slides. Yeah, I wonder what she hides under her disguise. Yeah. And all the girls around the world, they wanna be her. And all the dudes are trying to score like it's fever. She lives a double life, puts on a show. What's under this subtle smile, we'll never know. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her.
I think one of the most memorable scenes for me from Swan Lake was when Odette first walked out from inside the cave and she discovered the Enchanted Forest for the first time. And when they just displayed the Enchanted Forest, I think as a child I was so in awe of it. It just looked so magical and enchanting, and I was just so mesmerized with how it all looked. So I was trying to replicate that scene. So I used a really dark green, almost black, to paint the outlines of the painting. So I'm just painting along the periphery of the painting and just randomly dotting my paintbrush around just to give the idea of shrubs and plants sticking out from inside the cave. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this painting was fraught with so much difficulty, and I don't know why, but I just had so much trouble making it look good. So I think one of the ways in which I made it slightly better was to just keep layering it. My painting at the start looked really flat, especially the grass areas. So what I did was to start off with a darker kind of color, and then I'll slowly layer it one on top of another with lighter colors, and I think that kind of made everything slightly less flat and dull and a bit more visually appealing. The silhouette of the cave as well as the shrubs and plants also helped a lot with bringing the whole painting together. I just felt that it helped to to really bring the focus right to the swan in the middle, or actually not in the middle but slightly off center, but it helped to really bring the focus to the enchanted forest itself. So painting the cave was definitely a really good idea, and I think it looks really good, especially considering I was just randomly flicking my brush around and hoping it would turn out well. And after adding the final details to the swan, we are done with the painting. So now I'm just removing the washi tape, and that is always a very satisfying thing for me. So anyway, this is how the painting looks like, and I must say that it turned out better than I was expecting it to be, especially when I was in the middle of painting it. I just felt like giving up, to be honest, because it just seemed like it was just falling apart and it wasn't looking good at all. But anyway, I just cut my painting up into 2 sections so that I'll be able to paste it in my bullet journal, and I'm using this glue tape to tape it down to my bullet journal, as I did not want to use my glue because I don't know why, it's just not very sticky. But I have trouble with this glue tape as well. I just can't seem to find a good enough medium to stick my watercolor paper into the bullet journal. It just does not stick very well and it keeps coming out, which is pretty annoying for me. But anyway, I just taped it into my bullet journal and lettering the words February in a simple cursive font using my Uniball signal pen and adding a little bit of stars and sparkles, and we're done. I'm not doing this anymore and just moving on ahead. So the next spread that I'll be doing is the calendar spread. I just wanted to do something more simple and less of a painting intensive kind of style. So what I'm doing is just use my size 01 Sakura Pigma micron pen to outline the swan, and afterwards I'm just going to be going over it in a 005 to just add a little bit of shading and details. And honestly, I did not do much because I just wanted it to be as simple and quick as possible. Afterwards, I'm just using a ruler to draw out the squares for my calendar, and then I'm just using my watercolor to just paint into the swan. So my colors for the month of February are mostly purple and pink hues, as well as a green hue, as can be told from my cover page. So what I'm doing is just to do the wet and wet technique. So I'm just using my wet brush to just paint all over my bullet journal, and then using a purplish pink color to just go over it so that it will have that watercolor smudge kind of effect, which I really like. And then I'm using my 2 Tombow brush markers, and I showed them in my recent stationery haul, so you guys can go check that out if you're interested. The 2 Tombow pens that I'm using are the 553 as well as number 620, which is a bit more of a lilac kind of color, I think. So anyway, I'm just alternating them and just coloring them in on my calendar spread, adding 1 more coat of purple to my swan just to make it a bit more contrasted. And I also added the same watercolor on the bottom of the spread, which will be where my quote will be at. And so the quote that I'll be using is "You're braver than you think." And this was actually from the movie Swan Lake, and I thought that would be quite apt to just add it into my calendar spread. Afterwards, I'm using this sticker set, which is from Tittle and Jot. If you guys would like to check them out, I have tagged them on my Instagram page, so you guys can go and check that out. Check my Instagram out. It is in the description box below if you guys are interested. And I really like how their color scheme totally fit in with my February color scheme, so I was really happy about that. Moving on to my mood and habit tracker. This time around, I'm trying to depict a swan that is flying, and at the moment where a swan is just about to land. So I thought that looked really majestic. So I just tried to replicate that. And once again, I'm using my finest Sakura micron pen to just do a little bit of details. And then I'm erasing all the pencil marks and then painting it in with my watercolors. so I'm just going over them a few times just to build up the contrast. Afterwards, while waiting for the first layer of paint to dry, I'm just starting on my mood and habit tracker. So I'm just filling up the numbers for the months of February and then writing down the different habits that I'm trying to track, as well as the different moods that I would be in. And then I just lettered the word habits and mood, and I really like how the lettering turned out, I must say. All I'm doing now is just using my Uniball Signal white gel pen to add in the white details for my mushrooms, and then afterwards I'm just adding a little bit of sparkle, and I think I'm using the 02 Sakura Pigma Micron pen. I'm just adding a little bit of sparkles just to add a bit more of interest on the paper. Afterwards, I'm using the same sticker sheet from Tito and Jot, and it just says, "Stay consistent and keep growing." And I love that. I love that quote. Thought that was quite apt. Now moving on to my fave log as well as my Align a Day spread. I'm just doing a bit more of a grassy woodland kind of theme for my fave log. For my Align a Day, I'm drawing a swan that is sleeping, so I thought that that would be quite a zen kind of mode. But I had a bit of trouble with the neck and also the part where the head met the body. It just seemed a little off, but I think it's still acceptable. And anyway, once again, I am just going over them a few times just to build up the contrast. And then I'm once again adding a little bit of sparkles just to embellish the page. And now for the final flip through. So we did the cover page for February. I have my calendar spread, which I love. I absolutely love the quote at the top of my calendar spread. It is such a good reminder. And then I have my mood and habit tracker, and it will be kind of like a line graph, especially for my mood tracker. So I think it'll be much easier to fill up than my mood tracker for the month of January. And then moving on to my fave log and Align a Day spread. That's all for today. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you do, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!